morning, friends. Hopefully, you can hear me and see me. We're all good. Let me know if you can't. Welcome to Flourish. I'm Christy Bipes. I'm with Firmly Rooted Ministries here in Indiana. We have a sister church in Oxford, Michigan. So if you're new, we do this every weekday morning. So please continue to join us and jump in and say hi. We are reading from our book that we're loving, 365 Truths for Every Woman's Heart by Holly Girth. That's what that looks like. It's been awesome. I hope all of you have had a good week and are staying cool. We have been so hot here. It's been crazy. The weather has just been hot and humid, but that's okay. It's summer and it's now July. So we have our movie night, our outdoor movie night this evening. So it's going to be a hot one. So along with popcorn, we're going to do snow cones. We're going to need those. Lots of water too. We're going to show the Goofy movie. Hopefully we have a big turnout, but it's so hot. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. It's been fun. We've got one more outdoor movie night the beginning of August, the first Thursday of August. That's our last one. So they're fun. They're so much fun. So let's say hi to some people today. We've got Claudia on. Good morning, Claudia. How are you? Karen's on. Good morning, Karen. Pat's on. Good morning. And yesterday I was one of your and good night folks due to the holiday weekend errands. Aw. Yeah, Emily usually always remembers to say good morning, good afternoon, and good night to anybody that's watching at any other time. I never think about that. Never remember that. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All right. Colleen's on. Good morning, Colleen. How are you? We've got Carrie. Good morning. Is it hot in Texas? It's got to be because it's miserable here. Maureen's on. Good morning, Maureen. And Sarah. Good morning. Hope you guys are all doing well. All right. Our title for today is God Takes the Pressure Off. We're on day 271. And our key verse is from Thessalonians 4:11. Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your own business and working with your hands, just as we instructed you before. And our just to jot is, what does God want to say to your heart today? So be thinking about that. What does God want to say to your heart today? God takes the pressure off. We all need that, don't we? We all have so much pressure in our lives, it seems like. My daughter and I were talking about that the other day, how, years ago, before all this technology, people worked and they were outside and they had a lot to do, but it seemed like it wasn't as stressful as it is now. But that's okay. We can do it. We can do it. All right. Let's get into it. Make it your goal to imagine for a moment how our modern world would finish that sentence. Make it your goal to be busy all the time. Make it your goal to be successful and productive. Make it your goal to look good. Think of how some contemporary spiritual leaders might finish it too, or how you might finish it yourself on the days when you feel not good enough. Make it your goal to help everyone. Make it your goal to change the whole world. Make it your goal to be your spiritual hero. What Paul, Silas, and Timothy decide to say is surprising. Make it your goal to live a quiet life. So what does a quiet life mean? It's easy to think it's about a lack of something, fewer activities, not as many commitments, less noise. That can certainly be part of it, especially in seasons when we need restoration. But a quiet life is really about abiding in the presence of Jesus. It's about grace silencing the voices in our minds that pressure us to do, be, and have more. In their place, we begin to experience the joy, peace, and contentment only Jesus can give. Let's keep learning together. Let's remember how much we're loved. Let's make it our goal to lead a quiet life. So, what do you guys think? What does God want to say to your heart today in regards to a quiet life? Oh, Emily jumped on. Good morning. Better late than never. That's for sure. Good morning. Pat says, I'm for you and not against you. Yeah, he is for you and not against you. Isn't that the truth? I I was looking this verse up a little bit as I try to do, and I don't always have time, but I try to do. And Paul's writing to Christians in Thessalonica, and he is telling them to lead a quiet life, mind your own business, work with your hands, and that seems like a common knowledge, what we should do. But it seems like so many times this day and age, there's just so much going on. And we're trying to stand out and perform at work and get noticed so we can get that promotion. And, is that the right thing to do? I'm not sure. Oh, Chuck jumped on. Good morning, ladies. Blessings. Good morning, Chuck. Great to see you. Teresa's on. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? So I think instead of doing all that stuff, I think we're supposed to be faithful, live peacefully, serve quietly, right? And I think God does his greatest work through people faithfully living ordinary lives, not these, crazy standout lives that sometimes we try to build. And we need to trust in God instead of, you know, anxiety and worrying about our status. I think a quiet life is centered on Christ rather than on attracting attention. What do you guys think? How does he take the pressure off? And what's he saying? What does God want to say to your heart today? I know when I worked, it was, I haven't worked since the transplant, and I'm thankful for that I haven't had to. But I've worked up until then since I was 14, and it seems like, it was what you were supposed to do was do a great job. I worked, even though I was salary, I worked well over 40 hours. And why? Why? I think back then I did it because, I had my degree and I was trying to move up. And, you know, if I moved up at work, then I was kind of making that degree, useful. So, but now I'm wondering why. Why? Maybe I would have had better results at work had I just lived a quiet life, done my job, and, had my life centered on Christ. Oh, Sarah says, we're not supposed to be made an idol by being the center of even our own lives. Easier said than done, but always to strive, always, always to something to strive for. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But that's not what society tells us today. So that makes it kind of crazy. Emily, a quiet life sounds delightful. I think since I don't have a degree, I've always felt the need to prove myself. Right? The opposite. Isn't that the truth? I never thought of it that way. You're right. Absolutely right. Maureen, what a peaceful thought to stop striving. Just focus on being a light to those around us. I know. I love that. I love that. I think that's the key. I think I missed it all these years. I think just doing what's right. Living your best life is the key. And things will happen then. I think, we need to choose peace over conflict. And sometimes, at work, I felt like, somebody that wasn't doing what they should do, there was conflict. I always had to question or crazy, isn't it? I think we need to spend more time growing spiritually than comparing ourselves to others, which is hard with social media these days. Everyone's lives look so much better than yours on social media, and they're not. They're not. They're not. Oh, Sarah, we don't have anything to prove to God. He knows He's chosen us from the beginning of time. Absolutely. We don't have anything to prove to God. And I feel like He's got things kind of laid out for us anyway. And with our, God moments, He directs us to where He wants us to go anyway. So I think we're doing all this for no reason, right? I think serving faithfully without needing that recognition is so important. And let our character speak louder than our opinions. I need to remember that. I need to remember that. Let our character speak louder than our opinions. Yeah, so good. I love today's devotion. Anybody else have anything? Well, let's be the hands and feet of Jesus. Oh, Emily's got Emily's got hearts. Love you too, Emily. Love all you guys. You guys are awesome. And thank you for always giving me grace when this doesn't work out. Actually, I do think I have a button on here wrong, but I don't know if that makes a difference. Oh well. All right. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We've got our movie night tonight. We've got the 4th of July parade where a lot of us are going to walk in the parade and we're going to pass out a little bit of candy to the kids and an information card to the adults and invite them to our Sunday service. So it's going to be a good weekend. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, a safe 4th of July. Happy 250 years, America, and no devotion tomorrow. No devotion tomorrow, since it's kind of like a pseudo holiday, I guess. So no devotions tomorrow. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend. Um, happy 4th of July. Be the hands and feet of Jesus. See you on Monday.